ThousandEyes transaction tests are scripted synthetic user interactions with web-based applications like online shopping or productivity tools. Unlike page load tests, which only check if the front page responds, transaction tests can traverse multiple pages and user actions. Transaction tests run on ThousandEyes Cloud and Enterprise agents using a component called BrowserBot, which runs Google's Chromium browser. In this video, we'll create a transaction test using the browser-based recorder panel in Chrome DevTools. Navigate to Test Settings under Network and App Synthetics. Select Add New Test, then Transaction. In the URL field, enter a URL, domain name, or IP address, including the TCP port you want to monitor. Choose a test interval to set how often the test runs. Set test execution schedule to default, round robin, or randomized start time. Select the agents to use for this test, and give the test a name. Below, you'll find more configuration options, starting with network and security settings. Enable Perform network measurements to collect additional data during the test. Define which data to capture, such as bandwidth, maximum transmission unit, or BGP routing information. Choose the protocol for the test, either TCP or ICMP. If you select TCP, you can also configure the path trace mode and probing mode. Other options include the transmission rate, the number of path traces, and proxy settings. For example, you can use the Enterprise Agent's proxy configuration or perform network measurements to the proxy. In the TLS section, specify the SSL version, verify SSL certificate, add a client certificate if needed, and allow legacy renegotiation with servers that don't support the latest standard. Under HTTP Communication and Performance, configure the timeout, how long the test waits for a server response, and the target response time, the threshold you expect the page to meet. For HTTP response options, specify the desired status code. Success is defined as any status code in the 200 or 300 range, unless otherwise specified. You can also enable content verification or limit the download size. For HTTP request options, choose the HTTP version, either preferring HTTP 2 or forcing HTTP 1.1. The test follows redirects by default. Set the user agent, override DNS resolution, and add any custom HTTP headers your application requires. The HTTP authentication section lets you define the authentication scheme if credentials are needed. Under Additional Settings, choose to show HTTP headers and waterfalls for deeper troubleshooting. Next is the Transaction Performance and Browser Settings section, where you fine-tune how the transaction test runs in a simulated browser. Set the timeout and target time, which define how long the test waits and what the expected page response should be. Under Browser Options, choose the Chromium version used to run the test. Enable or disable screenshots which capture the page as it loads. Define the preferred language for the browser and allow or block access to the microphone, camera, or geolocation if the site requests them. For the page loading strategy, choose between normal behavior or alternatives, like waiting for all resources to load. With device emulation, simulate different screen sizes and resolutions, such as desktop, tablet, or mobile devices. You can also exclude specific domains or objects from being loaded and measured. These settings let you replicate real user scenarios and understand how your web application behaves under different conditions. Click Next to configure the transaction script. This is where you configure the script to simulate interactions with web-based applications. You can record your interactions using the recorder panel in DevTools and export the result to ThousandEyes. Open a new incognito window in your Chrome browser and navigate to the web page you want to simulate. Incognito mode avoids local authentication issues and interference from browser cookies and cache. In this example, we'll create a transaction test to search for a product on Amazon. To open DevTools, click the three-dot menu in the top right of the browser, then select More Tools, then Developer Tools. In DevTools, open the Recorder panel. If you don't see the Recorder panel, open the Command menu. Using keyboard shortcut Command or Control-Shift-P, start typing Recorder and select the Show Recorder option that appears. Click Create Recording and enter a name for the recording. Start recording, refresh the page, and then search for Mario Maker 2 in the web page. Select the second option. Then click Add to Cart. Now end the recording from the recorder panel. The recorder automatically generates code based on your actions. Click Show Code to view the code in JSON format. To export to ThousandEyes, you can either copy the JSON code directly or click Export Recording and select JSON. Navigate back to the test configuration page and click Generate Script from Chrome Recorder JSON. Paste the JSON code or upload the file using the Upload button in the top right. Click Convert to Script to convert the JSON code to a Selenium script, then click Done to view the script. You can enhance the transaction test by adding markers and screenshot functions to capture specific test points. Markers define and measure discrete steps within a user journey or business transaction. By identifying where a script section starts and stops, markers let you compare performance over test rounds and against the overall transaction time. Click Instant Test to run the test once and check for issues. Refer to ThousandEyes documentation to further optimize and troubleshoot the script. Once the script is free of errors, click Deploy to save the test. After the test runs, you can view the results in the test view. This shows metrics for transaction time, errors, and completion, along with any markers you've added. The Waterfall tab displays object load times and screenshots captured during the test. In this video, we explored transaction test settings, recorded user actions using the Chrome DevTools Recorder, and deployed the test in ThousandEyes. Thanks for watching.